Yeah, man, my computer keeps cutting off. I apologize. Apologize to the fam. I apologize. My computer, every time I start recording, it'll just like shut off. It'll start recording. So this is a continuation of me doing the recon on these ghost towns, these underwater ghost towns. So we got one in Tennessee also, right? So it says Tennessee has many ghost towns, abandoned because they were once owned by a coal company because the railroad replaced the flatbed or because early routes were replaced with other ones. Excuse me. This column focuses on towns permanently flooded by leaks created by the Tennessee Valley, Authority and United States Army Corps of Engineers. Yes, yes, we know this. We know this. Before we do, I need to put the flooding of these communities in context, right? We should number these places and be mindful of how much man-made dams and lakes changed our landscape. However, the creation of dams up and down the Tennessee and Cumberland rivers greatly reduced the flooding and providing a lot of inexpensive electricity. And mindful of this as I type this column in onto my internet connected laptop, my air conditioner cooling the room. Right, whatever, man. It's East Tennessee, Big Barren, a small town along the Clinch River in Claiborne County, became famous in 1916 because of the flood that killed 25 people there. When Norris Dam was created in the 1930s, Big Barren was permanently flooded by the waters of Norris Lake. Most of the graves in the town were moved to a new cemetery in Union County, now known as Big Barren Cemetery, right? So I'm gonna put my cursor up here, man, because a lot of times when I put the cursor on the clock, it won't shut off. The recording won't shut off. So there's something crazy going on. I'm just trying to get my computer. Man, honestly, I need a new computer, man. A lot of these issues of me, uh, 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 putting out information is because of the damn computer. All right, now, so let's continue. Near Big Barren was the Campbell County community of Baker Forge. I'm not sure what Baker Forge consisted of by the time Norris Dam permanently submerged it, but I do know that about 2,000 graves there had to be moved to what is now known as Baker's Forge Memorial Cemetery. About 10 of these graves were Revolutionary War veterans, which makes me wonder what was left of them by the 1930s. All right. Uncle Sam turns moving man on giant scale to shift 3,000 TVA area families. You see that article? Majority of Hill folk accepting eviction without protest. Many game by land scale. Hmm. Scale. Yeah. Alright. Lewiston, just downstream from Baker's Forge was one of the better documented permanently flooded towns in Tennessee history. Lewis Wickens Wine visited the Clinch River town in 1933 and took photos of the place before it was inundated by the waters of TVA's Norris Lake. Lewiston has been in existence for more than 100 years. Yeah, right. A story in the Knoxville News Sentinel reported at that time the town contains a mill, 2 stories, 2 churches, a post office, a grammar school, a high school. Hey, uh, I'm in the middle of a recording. I'm gonna call you back, okay, in a couple minutes. Just give me a little bit of time, all right? You okay though? All right, all right, all right. Where we at in Lewiston? Excuse me. I have phone calls. A lot of reasons why, man. So much work. I do a lot of work, and sometimes you get caught up with knocking on the door, somebody calling, kids need this. It's always something, man. So, excuse me. There are old stories and traditions, familiar old tales that cannot be put down in statistics nor relay in figures, right? Butlers, Butler's residents saved many artifacts before the flooding, such as horse-drawn hearse, now displayed in the town's museum. Town's museum. The Johnson County town of Butler had to be moved in the 1940s because of the creation of the Watauga Lake. When it was relocated, some of the town's residents saved many artifacts because they were discarded, such as a horse-drawn hearse, the interior of the post office, and equipment from the old lumber mill. Today, these objects are displayed in a wonderful museum in New Butler, which is a which I highly recommend. Yeah, okay. All right, so we gonna keep reading. We're gonna get all this article. We about to get a whole bunch of articles. Okay, so get cozy, please. In Grayson County, Cherokee Dam on the Holston River permanently flooded the community of May Spring in 1942. Not a lot of people lived there, but it was known because of an old May Spring farm and mill. Some of East Tennessee's best flour was ground at the mill. The October 12, 1941 Knoxville News Senator reports Cherokee Lake also inundated Newton, which required the Newton Baptist Church to be moved and its cemetery exhumed. Hopefully it wasn't my people. Y'all was doing that too. So we'll figure it out. Alright. The most famous structure um, permanently flooded by Cherokee Lake was the tavern at Bean Station, and built in 1814, along with the first road connecting Knoxville to Washington, D.C. Just about every important person from early Tennessee history spent the night at Bean Station at one time or another. In fact, there was so much sentimentality, things that are sentimental, right, about the old tavern that its stones, bricks, and logs were stockpiled by TVA in case anyone ever wanted to rebuild it. However, no one seems to know what happened to those stones, bricks, and logs. Yeah, no one seems to know. Yeah, y'all don't never seem to know shit. Don't never seem to know something. But guess what? You already know, right? Since it was a logical place to cross the Little Tennessee River, the Loudoun County town of Morganton was a key local during the Civil War. It also had a ferry crossing that remained active until the 1960s. However, Morgantown only had about 20 buildings left when TCA bought the land in advance of the creation of Tellico Lake in the late 1970s. Today, flooded Morganton has that most important digital age status system, a Wikipedia page. Alright, so this is the Norris Dam. Damn dams. Like KD say, them damn dams. Yeah. Hawaii. Let's go. Several small communities were flooded when Watts Bar Lake was created in early 1940s. The best publicized was Rhea Springs, which once had a famous spring and hotel. The hotel's patron came from Atlanta, New Orleans, Memphis, and Chattanooga, right? Daily Times reported it was the largest and most popular watering place in East Tennessee. Among other things, Rhea Springs had homes, cemeteries, an old academy building, and a Methodist church built in 1840. Downstream on Tennessee River, about 2,000 families had to be relocated when Chickamauga Dam was built in the late 1930s. Parts of several Hamilton County communities were inundated, among them Bakewood, Saudy, and Harrison, right? Bakewell had an Naga community of about 40 families. Saudy had a hosiery mill, a grit mill, a gas station, and many houses. Harrison had an elementary school, a church, and several stories. In several stores. In several stores. Y'all know I'm on the fly. I'm like trying to do this. You know, I woke up this morning and something was, y'all already know. So it needs me even going there, right? Harrison was also the county seat of Hamilton County from 1840 until 1970. So the place where early Chattanooga resides paid their taxes, where courts were held, and chancery court officials sold enslaved people, is now permanently beneath the waters of the Chattanooga Lake. Man, yo, this gut wrenching. I can't. I'm trying to keep my tears back, man, when I think about this, man. So, today, some of the land formerly occupied by old Johnsonville sets in Johnsonville State Historical Park, right? Fair use, man. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. Let me get a fair use up here, man, because I've been getting in a little bit of trouble with my fair uses. So let me look for a fair use disclaimer and try to put this up before we go any further. Before we go any further. We go any further. There we go. Bing, bing. We go any further. And I don't want no crap with YouTube. Every time I try to load a video, man, they be deleting my shit, man. They be taking my shit down every time. Alright, so here we go. Fair use. Right? Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion pictures, videotapes, or video disc under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, new reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe on copyright under 17 USC 107. Alright. Every time I've been having issues lately where I pull that up and it'll stay on the screen. Like the fair used to stay on the screen during the whole video, so now I'm just getting rid of Xing it out altogether. Right? So where were we? Alright. The citizens of Dandridge made a direct appeal to First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, pointing out that this was the only place in the United States named for Martha Washington. Mrs. Roosevelt heard their appeal, spoke to her husband, and a levee was built protecting the town of Dandridge from flooding. And damn dams. Right. The other Tennessee River. Right. Now we move downstream along Tennessee River through North Alabama to where the Tennessee River borders Middle and West Tennessee. When Perry County was formed in 1819, Perryville was its county seat, right? I don't want the thing to cut off, so let me go back up here. Thousands of people who migrated to West Tennessee crossed the river at Perryville, and for a while it was a bustling town. However, the part of Perry County on the west side of the river was later split off into Decatur County and its county seat placed at Linden. When TVA created Kentucky Lake, oh, man, dams in the 1940s, Perryville's 250 residents had to be moved to higher grounds, and a lot of old buildings were razed. A lot of old buildings were razed. No, you built on top of our shit. Raise my ass. Alright, continuing downriver was Johnsonville, right? A community named famous by a Civil War battle involving Nathan Bedford Forrest. Okay, when County Lake was created, about 350 residents had to be moved. TVA later built a power plant nearby, and the place became known as New Johnsonville, a power plant. Piss on your power plants. Shit on your power plants. We coming back for our land, man, to stop playing, man. Most High, Amma, and Abba, we not having it. Enough is enough. Today, some of the land formerly occupied by Old Johnsonville sits in Johnsonville State Historic Park. Across the river from Johnsonville was Eva. A Bentham County community similar in size to Johnsonville. In 1925, General Mason Patrick, head of the United States Army Air Corps, was forced to land his airplane in Eva on a cross-country trip. He got the best hot biscuits at Eva, right? The Nashville, Tennessee reported Eva, its 400 residents, and its biscuits had to move to a higher ground when County Lake flooded the area. Wow. Let's go. Moving downstream and farther north. Today, you will find a huge grain elevator that still rises from the waters of Kentucky Lake. That grain elevator is all that is left of Danville, which contained homes, stores, a doctor's office, and a saloon. Danville was permanently flooded by Kentucky Lake, but for reasons that remain a mystery to this day, the grain elevators was left standing. Yeah, man. Ain't no comments, man. Y'all know what the hell going on, man. Y'all know what's going on, dog. When the Civil War began, the Confederate government built a fort on the Tennessee River in Stewart County called Fort Henry. The site was poorly chosen. In fact, it was flooded when the United States Navy successfully attacked it in February 1862. In the 1940s, Kentucky Lake flooded what was left of the fort and the small community near it as buildings were being moved to make way for the lake. People were showing up and howling off what was left of Fort Henry. A Nashville Boy Scout troop carried off logs from the old fort and used them to build a play fort at a small farm in Williamson County. Right? A few months ago, I tracked down some of these logs, which were used to build a lovely house along the Harpeth River. Yeah, right. However, the nice lady who owned the house asked me not to publicize its location. I bet she didn't. I bet she didn't. I bet she didn't want to publicize her location. I bet she didn't. So what is this? Chattanooga Sunday Magazine. Immortal Pioneers. Alright. So let's try to see if we can read a little bit of this. No task of Norse dam builders more perplexed than removal of 500 graves from lands to be discovered by water. Tactful underwater and carrying out work in reverent spirit, recounsel living to moving their dead to new resting places. What is this? Ain't moving their dead. The cover story for September 13, 1936 issue, Jack. Ain't moving their dead. Tennessee's underwater ghost towns. Alright, so let's see what's going on. Let's see if we can find some more. Let's see if we can find some more. Let's see if we can find some more. Let's see if we can find. Let's do some images real quick for these images. Wild West ghost town emerges from water grave. Right. Yeah, man, we got images all over the place. Look at this. Underwater ghost village. Frozen in time, set to resurface. Here we go. Boy, that goodness. Alright. Something else. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use for educational purposes only. Underwater ghost village. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hijack, man. Come on, man. Get out my way, man. Get out my way. Get out my way. Alright. So this article. What is this? Jack always stop the slow stuff. Man, as soon as I get me a couple dollars, I'm gonna get me a computer, man. And a lot of the issues and a lot of the delays I've been dealing with on my computer has been acting up. What's this, man?
Experience 25% less calories because it's made with Greek yogurt. Ice cream.
I ain't done. Okay, let's go.
We'll take it from here. Yasso, audacious, delicious.
I don't feel like nobody's ads. Everything gotta be commercial. Come on,
creamy, dipped ice cream experience.
They weigh in no matter what. You gotta find a way in. Damn, I'll just gotta find a way in. Look, and instead of making the point that they're trying to make for me, they make me play it up different on another anchor. So yeah. Wait. Where is this at? Where is this at? See, and then it just stopped playing on me. Oh man, look. I'm just gonna read it. The word ghost village frozen in time set to resurface and you can visit. Right? Beautiful village of vibrant D. What is it? Where is this at? Over. We're gonna get this one too. Right. We're gonna get this one too. So man, look, we just got more dams, man. More dams covering up stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not reading this on the. I'm on. Everything is live. I'm digging this live. I haven't checked anything, so I'm checking as I'm going. I'm just trying to tighten things up, man. Get our things back. When the lake is drained, you can walk around the streets. So what is this? Since the dam's construction, the lake has been emptied only 4 times for main what? What is main? Oh, okay, for maintenance work. And each time as the water is drained away, the haunting outline of the village begins to slowly emerge. Right. When the lake is drained, you can walk along the streets. Alright, here we go. Pictures show its stone houses still standing, the cemetery, the bridge, and the church of St. Theodore with its ruined bell tower. This ruined bell tower. This village was founded by blacksmiths. They keep putting stuff all over the page, man. They want get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. They covering everything up, and ain't no X nothing. How you X out of this? So I'll come down here then. I'll do what y'all want to do. The village was founded by blacksmiths. Look at this. This. Look at this. Tens of thousands of people visited in 1994. Dams. In 1947, an hydroelectric dam was built, and the residents were moved to a nearby town of Vagley de Soto. All right. Lorenza Giorgi, daughter of Elio Domenici Giorgi, was claimed in a Facebook post that the lake will be emptied next year. She wrote, "I inform you that from certain sources, I know that next year in 2021, Lake Valgi will be emptied." They doing all my computer jumping and all kinds of stuff, man. So look, check this out. The last time it was emptied in 1994 when my father was mayor, and thanks his commitment and to the many initiatives that with effort had managed to put up in one summer, the old of Vagley welcomed more than 1 million of people. Yeah, so check this out. It has been reported since that the energy company which owns the dam, Enel, has said it's considering draining it as a possibility to boost terrorism in the area. Yeah, right. Yeah, no. It's probably the hideout shit. Beneath the water, the village stone buildings, cemetery, bridge, and church are incredibly remain in fact. So they keep putting up all these whatever, y'all. So look, this stuff. Alright, so in 1994, my father told me that it was difficult to attract such a large number of people, that everything was done without burdens on the administration, besides those ordinary representation of small municipalities. I hope next year, strong of the past experience, of which everyone has a beautiful memory, and with the help of social networks, we'll be able to repeat and overcome the great success with just as much attention. It has been reported since that the energy company which owns the dam has said it's considering draining it, possibly as a possibility to boost tourism in the area. Well, I say piss on y'all dams. I say piss on y'all dams. So let's see if we can find another one. It's showing fair use, 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 fair use. Yeah, keep that on top. Soon as I get me a couple dollars, I'm getting me a computer. Anybody got one they want to donate, let me know. This computer, man, all over the place. All over the place. This. Hold up. I don't know where y'all go. Alright. Let's see. Submerged channels.
Pizza or salad? Which one do you think I'm for dinner? This is grab food because this is just me craving this.
Alright, Most High put me right on it. Stop playing. Alright, here we go. Submerged towns of America. In California. Man, shout out to all of my code keepers, man, in California, man. Much ahab, and we here, man. I'm working. Right, so let's get this. The submerged towns of America, right? The feat of engineering marvels in the United States during the course of the 20th century was extraordinary, right? You know what we talking about? We talking about submerged towns in America. This is what we've been talking about the entire video, right? So I know I didn't let you guys know we were talking about it first because I kind of like just jumped on the computer and was like, oh, you know, I had some things I had to do this morning, and before I knew, man, there's a lot going on. So we here. Might be a little shaky at first, but it's about to get loosened. So just relax. I'm about to take this ride for a minute. My computer cut off earlier. I was recording and it just shut off. So, you know, I've been going through that. I don't know if it's the computer or if it's other things working. You know, I've been having a lot of computer issues. Every time I turn around, every time I record something, YouTube wants to delete it. I've had a lot of videos deleted by YouTube. Well, it'll go through the whole processing situation, and then they just won't accept it. So it'll be a whole video I done, and they delete them. But you know, them ain't none of these crying little spilt milk. You know what I mean? They don't know what they're dealing with. So let's get to it. All right. The feat of engineering marvels in the United States during the course of the 20th century was extraordinary. Though the construction of massive dams and reservoirs provide electricity and water to millions of Americans every day, the development of these came with a price. Here's a look at the communities that will forever rest beneath the waters. California. Right? So, Shasta Dam. Right? Wait a minute. Shasta Dam. Shasta Dam is the 8th highest in the United States. And this construction, let me put my cursor so it don't cut off. Alright, I'm sorry y'all, doing a lot. Okay. And this construction on the Sacramento River created Shasta Lake in 1948. It emerged 47 square miles of land. It submerged 27 square miles of land, including the towns of Kennett, Bard, Copper City, Elmore, Etor, Morley, Pitt, and Winthrop. It also forced the relocation of Wintu tribe members. It also forced the relocation of Wintu tribe members. Rest in powers to the ancestors, man. Whose roots in the area date to approximately 500 AD, locating about 11 miles from Redding, California. It's free to visit the Shasta Dam, learn about its history and the towns that disappeared. Alabama. Although the completion of the Pickwick Dam by the Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA, in 1938 reflected an area of progress in the region. Several communities including Waterloo and Riverton, succumbed to the demand for technological benefits. Once active centers in the state, today these towns exist only in memories, history books, and under the Pickwick Reservoir. So y'all see what's going on, man. See what's going on. Colorado. You about to get all this. I'm gonna need y'all to pull up a chair, man. I'm gonna need y'all to pull up a chair, man. This is in Colorado. In 1862, the gold rush in Colorado was in full swing, and small mining communities like Montgomery were sprouting up across the Rocky Mountains. The two boasted 150 cabins, 5 sawmills, 3 hotels, and the largest dance hall in the region. The people named 14,286 foot Mount Lincoln after the United States president, and even sent him a bar of gold. Yeah, I bet you did send him a bar of gold. Well, you won't be sending shit, because the Most High said your time is up. By the late 1860s, the mine failed to yield any more of the precious metal, and the residents moved south to Buckskin Joe. The city of Colorado Springs bought the land in the late 1890s and constructed the Montgomery Reservoir, which flooded over the mining town. Connecticut, 1927. The Metropolitan District Commission, MDC, began to purchase land in preparation for the construction of the Seville Dam, which sequentially created the Barkhamsted Reservoir. By the completion of the project in 1948, the waters engulfed the farming community of Barkhamsted and Heartland Hollow, Indiana. The Mississippi Lake, Indiana. In 1967, the United States Army Corps of Engineers constructed the Mississippi Lake Dam and thereby formed Mississippi Lake for irrigation and flood control purposes. The completion of these 5 square miles of water took with it the small town of Death Man's Village and Somerset, Maine. So this is the Flagstaff Dead River Valley. Since the development of Long Falls Dam in 1950, the towns of Dead River, Biglow, Carey Place, and Flagstaff have rested under the surface of Flagstaff Lake. The dam, which created Maine's 4th largest lake, regulates flood control and the flow of water that 8 hydroelectric power plants use along the Kennebec River. Massachusetts. The finalization of the half-mile Windsor Dam and its subsequent Quabbin Reservoir submerged the towns of Dana, Enfield, Prescott, and Greenwich in 1939. Fortunately, the state moved historic landmarks, such as the first congressional church, before the flooding of the zone began, and further relocating approximately 6,000 graves from the 4 towns of Quabbin Park Cemetery. It's no wonder that some say that the entire area is haunted. No shit. Nevada, St. Thomas, Lake Mead, Nevada. Founded by Mormon settlers in 1865, St. Thomas became an established community of farms and businesses. In 1871, the residents abandoned the town due to a land survey that placed the area in Nevada. The state tried to collect the overdue taxes from the settlers in gold, but they refused and returned to Utah. Other settlers later claimed the land and dedicated themselves to farming and mining, although after the construction of Hoover Dam in the 1880s and the rise in the Colorado River, residents had to leave the town in 1938 as a result of low water levels of the Lake Mead. However, the ruins of St. Thomas, protected by the National Park Service as a historical site, are visible today. The town's original cemetery is now Overton, Nevada. In New York, Ashokan River Former sites of Olive City, Olive Bridge, Ashokan Reservoir in New York. At 190 feet, the Ashokan Reservoir is New York's deepest and provides 40% of New York City drinking water. Upon completion in 1915, it forced the relocation of some 2,000 residents and consumed the towns of Ashokan, Ashton, Boysville, Boardhead, Browns Station, Glenford, Shokan, Olive Bridge, Stony Hollow, West Hurt, West Hurley, West Hurley, West Shokan, and Olive City. Olive City, huh? Ashokan, right. Water from the Cannonsville Reservoir, which submerged the community of Cannonsville, began flowing into New York City. Into New York City Distribution Center in 1964, man. So yeah, look at this. Pennsylvania. Allegheny Reservoir, Pennsylvania. I'm gonna tell you, man, when I get the right computer, boy, and not gonna be able to stop me. Every time I turn around, it's some choppy going on after the recording, and it just pisses me off. So once I get the opportunity, the Most High get this computer to me, it ain't gonna be nothing but work. Oh wait, I ain't get this one yet. Let me get this one. All right. The development of the Allegheny Reservoir left two state towns under water. Corydon and Kenzua, while the Marsh Creek Dam erased Milford Mills off the map. Utah. I want to give a shout to the 500 code keepers, man. If I wasn't going through what I'm going through, you already know. You already know, man. You already know. Some money issues that I've been going through, so, which you already know. You already know, KD. You already know. So, Utah. Look at how beautiful Utah is, man. Look at this, man. Look at this. Flaming Georgie Reservoir, a national recreational area on the Green River. Man. 4 towns are underwater due to the state system of reservoirs. Connorsville is below Electric Lake. The Jordanelle Reservoir flooded, Hailstone, and Kettles. The Flaming George Reservoir covered Linwood, and the waters of the Lockport Reservoir drowns the town of the same name. Washington. Wanapam Dam in Washington. The town, wait, let me put this back up here. The town of Vintage disappeared under Lake Wanapam upon the completion of the Wanapam Dam in the early 1960s. So we're going through this one. We're going through this one. Applegate Reservoir. Y'all already know if you ain't see it. Oregon. Beautiful, man. Look at this, yo. Look at this, man. Where you? The state has the most flooded towns in the United States. Oregon got the most flooded towns. We'll do our own investigation on that. You might be lying to us. So we'll figure it out our damn self. With y'all dams. With y'all damn dams. Alright. So this is called the Applegate Reservoir. Right? It's in Oregon. Alright. The state has the most flooded area towns in the United States, not even counting cities that succumbed to the might of the Pacific Ocean or Columbia River. So you blaming the water now. So the hijack wants to blame the water now. Though relocated, the original town of Arlington rests under the Lake Umatilla. The backwaters of the John Day Dam inundated the town of Black Cello is at the bottom of Lake Chelilo. The Applegate Reservoir covers the former communities in Copper, Detroit Lake, and the Dorina Reservoir also consumed the original towns of the same name. The state relocated these two beforehand. Yeah. Sounds about right. Homestead lies below the surface of the Hells Canyon Reservoir. Klamath Junction is under. Man, let me get rid of this. Alright, where we at? Let me start up here. Homestead lies beneath the surface of Hells Canyon Reservoir. Klamath Junction is under the Immigrant Lake. Immigrant Lake. And the communities of Candace, Lawler, Carter, Eula, and deep below the Lookout Point Reservoir. Lost Creek Lake took Laurelhurst. Watson is under Owyhee Reservoir, and the Brownlee Reservoir eliminated Robinette. So that's it. So this is what's going on, fam bam. This is what's going on. Alright, so I want to give a fair use again. I don't want no smoke, YouTube. All I'm doing is reading. That's it. Alright. So, I'm going to finish this up a little later. I got to connect the other part of the video that where the computer was turned off at. And I need to get this filtering through the system. Oh, man. I was going to do a dismount, but let's see what's going on first. I got some more, man. I got some more, man. Alright. So, I ain't playing this. Fair use, man. Fair use, fair use. This is for educational purposes only. Okay, this is for educational purposes only. Fair use. This is for educational purposes only. Yes. Underwater town, high today, this reservoir is used for control and the enjoyment of everyone who visits, swimming, canoeing, camping, you name it. People love to visit here for outdoor recreation. But what many people don't know is that there's a hidden town beneath the lake. Because of how clear the water is, you normally can't see it unless the water is very low. And even then, not much of it remains. The reservoir is Paktola Lake, created from the Paktola Dam. And the town, of course, was known as Paktola. The name came from a river in Turkey where an ancient Greek mining operation was once held centuries ago. When the town had just begun, it was a mining establishment known as Camp Crook. The town has been around since 1875, but in the 1950s, finished. These times, please keep safety in mind. Consider adding destinations to your bucket list. Visit today. Excuse me, fam, man. I need to back some of this stuff up, man. You know, PDF some of this stuff. See what I'm saying? This stuff should not take this long, man. Should not fun and wow, man. A lot of stuff over this stuff. Especially when I want to start recording. I want to start recording. crazy, man. You know, history is fun. History is fun. I, I, there's no way, there's no way to do any of these things. People I give my life over uh, Esau and his land, and I mean his birthright. No, which was things we never propagated. But I just can't believe that over a bowl of porridge, over a bowl of porridge, and you hungry, and you my brother. Um, and 9 out of 10, me, everybody know me. I gave them 75% of it, but told me 20 push-ups that you done. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been all that. Well, show me your birthright. What? Where did you do that at? Where did you gave that, man? Where did you, where did you? So, just saying, man. So let's continue, man. Alright, this is the Pola Dam, constructed from 1952 to 1956 as part of the Flood Control Act of 1944. The reservoir created actually supplies much of the water for Rapid City, and of course is and of course used for controlling flooding conditions. Yeah. So these were created under the French part like the land tell it and it throw you off, but shit's right here. So it don't look like it's created. Sure. So hiding beneath the water is what remains of the town. Most of the town was auctioned off before the completion of the dam was auctioned off. Many of the buildings were moved or demolished, and what would be the future lake bed was clear cut of all trees. There were still buildings there. However, that are they 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 are submerged still today. They wrote that. They are submerged still today. Like a dynamite bunker for the mining operation. A cabin that was part of the town also remains above water downstream today. While Pactolo Lake is beautiful today, it is interesting to know that there once was an entire town with stores, houses, and a mine, and that all of it would be many feet below the surface of the water less than a century after it was founded. So yeah, man, this stuff it hits the heart bone. You hear me? It hits the heart bone. So pretty much what I'm talking is these underwater ghost towns. Shabbat Shalom, man.